Floyd Money Mayweather. Ladies and gentlemen, chaos broke out. And I'm not talking about legit, bona fide boxing, pure boxing chaos. I'm talking about the kind of stuff that
They pray on my downfall. It's not gonna happen. But the thing is this, man. Don't go against me, ride with me. My thing is that I know how to win no matter. It's a fact. Trust. Every morning I get up in the mirror and I say, I say to myself, when I'm brushing my teeth, I say, you know what? Only person I can trust is that person right there. Because we all know we can trust ourselves. But we all always know somebody else is always gonna let us down.
Floyd Mayweather has once again found himself at the center of controversy, this time dragging in ESPN's Stephen A. Smith with him. Recently, Mayweather exposed a private video clip on social media showing Stephen A. Smith reaching out to him for money. Floyd used this to paint Stephen A. Smith as the face of a growing group of haters. People who, according to Floyd, want to tear him down now that they believe he is vulnerable. The conversation has since shifted from the contents of the clip to a much bigger, uglier question. Is Stephen A. simply hating? Or are the people saying Mayweather is running out of money just speaking facts?
He owes a bunch of gambling debts. Floyd, okay? And he tried to plant fake news out here saying that he was in downtown LA giving out money, and then he was at the,
The rumors of Mayweather's financial troubles have been swirling with real substance behind them. Legal documents, court cases, and even his own business announcements have started to peel away at the perfect image of Money Mayweather. At the heart of it are multiple lawsuits and signs that Mayweather's once unimaginable fortune might be bleeding out faster than he's willing to admit. For instance, Mayweather was hit with a lawsuit by a Miami jeweler who claims the former champ owes him over $4 million for unpaid jewelry, which is being revealed that it hasn't been settled yet. These weren't small purchases either. The lawsuit involved high-end watches and diamonds, the kinds of luxury items Floyd has proudly flaunted for years on his social media feeds. Yet the bill remains unsettled, and the case is now playing out in court.
Life is expensive, but come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. And it gets worse, your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're gonna have to sell off your assets. I hate seeing that.
It doesn't stop there. In Nigeria, a court ordered Mayweather to pay $2.4 million to a media company called Zini Media Concept Limited after he allegedly breached a contract regarding a promotional appearance. Mayweather was paid to show up for an event, he didn't, and he just decided to keep the money, and now the court wants the money back. It's a classic case of Mayweather taking big checks but not delivering on promises. And now the consequences are catching up with him internationally.
So the money's really gone?
Yeah, that's what you think. It's get the money, spend the money.
All that money?
Yeah, it's been 2 years.
So is it just his overhead is so high on a day-to-day, month-to-month? Like
I don't even want to talk about it. Like with the lifestyle, that money's gone, trust me. Now it's like, you call him, he'll be at your, your local hosting in a nightclub because you need that action right now.
Do you think he should...
On the American front, his real estate moves have also drawn heavy suspicion. Mayweather loudly announced that he had invested in a $10 billion office portfolio with 601W companies. He even posted photos celebrating what he called a massive business victory. But when journalists looked into it, they found that the details were cloudy at best.
Into my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me.
The public records didn't show Mayweather as a significant owner of these properties, and his name was nowhere near the documents that would back up such a jaw-dropping claim. Many began questioning whether Floyd was exaggerating his involvement to maintain the billionaire businessman image he's been trying to project since retiring.
Just another ordinary day, chilling in an EWB Rolls Royce. For those that don't know what an EWB is, that's an extended wheelbase Rolls Royce. I need the leg room. I know I ain't that tall, about 5'8.5", some days 5'9", but it is what...
Further adding to the confusion, Floyd claimed to have purchased 62 apartment buildings in Manhattan for a staggering $402 million through his firm, Veda Properties. Again, a deeper dive into property records did not find Mayweather's name anywhere. Real estate insiders have quietly suggested that these claims are likely fabricated or greatly overstated, raising even more questions about his actual financial position. Even as all these doubts swirl, Mayweather's spending habits haven't changed. He reportedly dropped over $1 million on a luxury suite during the 2024 Super Bowl weekend in Las Vegas. He's been seen spending huge amounts at high-end retailers, flexing his watch collection valued at around $100 million, and moving around like nothing's wrong.
The only person who's been able to do like that is Floyd Mayweather. He's the only guy who's been able to just be balling out of control, constantly flashing money, $1 million watches, a fleet of super expensive cars, and still.
To his fans, it looks like classic Floyd, brash, flashy, unapologetically extravagant. But to others, it looks like the frantic behavior of a man desperately clinging to an image that reality can no longer support. In the middle of this storm, Mayweather hasn't stayed silent. He's responded aggressively to the critics, especially targeting people like Stephen A. Smith, who he accuses of jealousy and hatred. Floyd went straight to Instagram to make his feelings clear. It's unfortunate how quick they are to doubt you when you're not supposed to win in their eyes.
Floyd Money Mayweather up until recently didn't have any money, so Floyd is the highest earning athlete in his career, making over $1.1 billion. And after making a killing, he ended up retiring in 2017. However, he dug himself into a hole after making super lavish purchases like this
They expect athletes to go broke, not build portfolios. They expect flash, not financial literacy. Well, I'm rewriting the script with my own money, my own mind, and my own moves. If that threatens you, that says more about you than me. More often than not, they'd rather question the legitimacy of your power moves than applaud your growth. Racism, envy, and tired stereotypes fuel the doubt. But I didn't fall to the status quo I studied. I invested, and I'm building a legacy whether they like it or not. Respect the hustle instead of trying to dissect it.
Also money.
But I don't even think he don't need any money.
He spends so much money.
Yeah, but he don't need any.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Floyd good.
I bet if he's planning for the future, you got to keep it coming in if you're going to keep spending the way he spends.
Yeah, but I think he has a lot of other business interests that he can get money from, not just.
Floyd's point is simple. He believes the world is rooting for his downfall. To him, it's not a matter of financial instability, it's a matter of deep-rooted envy. He paints a picture of himself not just as a successful former boxer, but as a savvy businessman being unfairly scrutinized because he doesn't fit the typical narrative of a black athlete who squanders his fortune.
One of the best investments that I did was New York real estate. So it started off with 7 figures, and I was getting a certain amount of money every month. When I first gave them $5 million, I was getting $50,000 a month. So I said, the money kept coming on the 18th every month. 50,000 would come in. I still was competing, I still was fighting, I still was active, and I still was making crazy.
Still, the reality on the ground is undeniable. Employees at his Los Angeles gym staged protests, alleging they hadn't been paid for weeks. Videos circulated showing staff members venting their frustrations, and these allegations only fueled more speculation that Mayweather's empire might be crumbling behind the scenes. When your own employees are protesting unpaid wages, it's hard to keep selling the image of endless wealth. In addition to his real estate claims, Mayweather has leaned heavily into cryptocurrency promotions lately, promoting a new coin called ASET.
I mean, it's the new wave. It's what everybody's doing. And I started, of course I started with boxing, but then of course now it's real estate. My real estate portfolio is crazy, but I'm truly blessed. I'm truly blessed. And if cryptocurrency is the new wave, you know what? Be the best.
He's offered fans incentives like signed gloves and championship belts if they participate. While Floyd has always dabbled in endorsements, the frequency and type of these promotions suggest a need for quicker cash flow, something unusual for a man who once bragged about carrying millions in a backpack. All of this plays directly into the hands of people like Stephen A. Smith, who has shifted from Floyd's acquaintance to one of his most vocal critics. While Floyd argues that this criticism is born out of hate and jealousy, others believe that Stephen A., and others are simply telling the uncomfortable truth. that Mayweather's finances are in real trouble, and that his extravagant lifestyle is unsustainable without consistent, massive paydays.
What the hell is going on with Floyd Mayweather, man?
Man, do we got money or not? I don't know what's going on.
I'm lost.
Man, I seen, I think Stephen A was talking about he was bankrupt.
See, I know he came out with this commercial talking about he just invested in this deal that's worth like $402 million that's dealing with 60 apartment buildings.
Yeah, I heard a nigga bought half of New York.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so he walking down the street of New York. Yeah, I own that one. I own that one.
I seen that too.
So some people...
Adding to the mess is the simple fact that Floyd Mayweather's brand was always tied to his invincibility. He was undefeated in the ring, undefeated in the bank account, undefeated in life. If that image starts to break down, the very foundation of what made Money Mayweather a cultural phenomenon could collapse. The big jewelry, the fleets of exotic cars, the towering piles of cash on Instagram, they weren't just displays of wealth, they were essential parts of the Mayweather brand. If it turns out that some of it was smoke and mirrors, the fallout could be brutal. In response to all of this, Floyd continues to project confidence. He keeps posting videos of his lifestyle, responding to critics with dismissive captions, and pushing back against any narrative that suggests he's slipping.
If you guys haven't seen one of my buildings, is One Summit.
Yes.
It's actually it's one of the tallest commercial buildings in the world. So just in New York alone, I got 9 skyscrapers. And Andrew Mathias, great business guy. This is what he told me one day. We took a walk. We was in New York. We was taking a walk. He said, "You see that building right there?" He said, "Yeah." We said, "We own that. You see this building? We own it." So we was walking and walking. Then he said, a boxer makes money when he...
To him, the haters will always be there, and the doubters will never understand his hustle. He frames it not as a fall from grace, but as proof that he's doing something right at going, that his success is so great, it inspires envy on a massive scale. Mayweather believes that his enemies are bitter, jealous, envious loser stalkers who can't do anything with their own lives. He sees them as freaks, miserable with their own existence, using him as a punching bag because they have no achievements of their own to celebrate. In his mind, the more they hate, the bigger a success story he becomes. Outside the ring, Mayweather continues to describe himself as a class act who is now making bigger moves than ever.
In the beginning, I feel like people was rooting for me, wanted the best for me. And the more and more as I accomplished more and kept accomplishing things, then you start seeing like different things. Then you start saying, he's a wife beater, or he's not that smart, or you hear so many different things. And I just feel like, okay, you're entitled to believe whatever you...
He says he's building a lasting legacy through smart investing and business moves, and that if people feel threatened by that, it reveals more about their own insecurities than about him. Mayweather has taken a clear position. He's rewriting the script. He's not the broken, desperate former athlete people want to believe he is. He is still, in his eyes, Money Mayweather. Undefeated not just in boxing, but in life itself. But as the lawsuits pile up, as employees go unpaid, as property deals turn out to be less real than advertised, and as former friends like Stephen A. Smith turn into public critics, it's becoming harder for Mayweather to block out the noise.
Some of the biggest artists, and you wouldn't even know, because my name don't have to be on everything.
I have to be the marquee.
Yeah, because sometimes if you put your name on certain things, you got people that's gonna be jealous. So sometimes I was like, I don't got to have my name on it to collect the check. So
back in the waning days of boxing's illustrious 1990s period, Floyd Mayweather was steadily building a reputation by winning one fight at a time. His early days were a calculated rise, each bout adding another layer to the legend he was crafting. The young prodigy from Grand Rapids, Michigan, showcased a mastery of the sweet science that set him apart. Defense, precision, footwork, he had it all. He didn't just beat opponents, he neutralized them. Fast forward to today, and that same Floyd Mayweather is the richest boxer in the history of the sport, an inductee into the Hall of Fame, and widely acknowledged as one of the best to ever lace up a pair of gloves. Beyond the skills, beyond the undefeated record, Mayweather's mouth became just as powerful as his fists. He weaponized words with ruthless effectiveness, dismantling opponents mentally long before a punch was even thrown.
Okay. Well, we're going to know in the least amount of fights, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, she did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that
the greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
In a recent sit-down with FightHype.com, Mayweather's confidence was on full display, unshaken and unmoved by the shifting narratives around him. Speaking with his trademark blend of defiance and calm, he stated, "Like I always say, I can't be stopped. You can't stop me. What's meant to be in life is meant to be, period. I ain't got nothing against nobody. I'm not upset with nobody. I'm not mad at nobody. I'm just saying, just look at this. That's no different from when I just spoke about Shakur and Devin. I love both of them." Mayweather wasn't just tossing out empty platitudes. He made it clear that while he has no personal beef with current boxers, the competitive edge that made him a billionaire still courses through him. He challenged Top Rank, the promotion both fighters have ties to, suggesting that if they truly believe they have the best, then they should try to see if they can bring a better talent than him.
Records, it's Floyd Mayweather. You know, I don't think that it is, Muhammad Ali paved the way for me to be where I'm at today. And, you know, he's a legend. But when we talk about record breaking, we also got to talk about Ali lost to a fighter with 7 fights when he lost his world title to a fighter with only 7 fights. So these are the things that we don't look at. We don't only look at him standing for a cause, which is the great thing because he still.
At the heart of Floyd's remarks is a deeper truth about how he views competition and legacy. He understands the importance of putting pride aside to make the fights that matter. Yet even in that spirit, he never loses sight of the game, the subtle art of calling out without disrespecting, positioning without posturing. It's the same strategic mind that helped him become a mogul after boxing, weaving business and branding into a post-fight career that few can rival. Of course, no discussion of Floyd Mayweather's recent presence in the spotlight is complete without revisiting the historic event that only deepened his mystique, the 2017 showdown with UFC superstar Conor McGregor. A fight that on the surface seemed little more than a money grab transformed into a pop culture moment, a crossover spectacle that blurred the lines between sports, entertainment, and business. The bout generated around $600 million, a staggering sum that confirmed Mayweather's status as a financial juggernaut.
Floyd has weak hands. He's broken his hands many times. And even though he's capable of knocking guys out, it's with precision. He's not going to knock you out like a John the Beast Mugabe would or a Francis Ngannou would or a real power puncher, a Joe Smith. There's guys who just fucking get you to the cage or against the ropes and just smash.
Forbes reported that Mayweather himself pocketed approximately $275 million, while McGregor took home a massive $85 million. To this day, it stands as one of the biggest events in combat sports history. However, years later, there are still layers to peel back from that event. Stephen A. Smith, during an appearance on the Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson podcast, gave fans an insider glimpse into just how calculated Mayweather's performance against McGregor really was. Smith recounted a conversation he had with Mayweather before the bout where Floyd told him in no uncertain terms that he would take McGregor out around the 8th or 9th round. Smith, skeptical at the time, questioned Mayweather's ability to predict that so precisely, especially given Floyd's history of hand injuries and the fact that his punching power had waned since his days at lighter weights.
Stephen A. raised eyebrows when he claimed that Mayweather may not be as financially stable as he claims to be. According to Smith, there's a reason to believe that the former champion is either in financial trouble or heading straight towards it.
Mayweather, however, brushed aside those concerns with ease, breaking down McGregor's weaknesses with clinical precision. Floyd explained that McGregor, being a UFC fighter, was used to striking but not boxing at a high level, especially not while moving backward. Mayweather's strategy, simple yet devastating, was to stay close, suffocate McGregor's offense, and gradually break him down. True to his word, Mayweather systematically wore McGregor out before stopping him in the 10th round. Smith admitted his amazement at just how perfectly Floyd had mapped out the fight beforehand, leading Mike Tyson himself to interject, "He's the man," acknowledging Mayweather's unparalleled fight IQ.
To late 40s now, still fighting with these random people in random places. For 5 million here, 10 million there.
No, he's just a big spender. You can't spend like that, you know? Like,
this guy has a lot of chains.
So many chains, bro. Chains, that's a depreciating asset.
Get yourself something that'll hold value.
Yeah.
Go buy some real estate, brother. Buy an original. We'd love to have you in the Dow.
What?
Invest in Prime, huh? Do something smart.
As the conversation between Smith and Tyson continued, Smith drew a compelling parallel between Floyd's dismantling of McGregor and Tyson Fury's calculated destruction of Deontay Wilder in their trilogy fight. Smith recalled the tense press conference where Fury, forced into a third fight due to Wilder's lawsuit, delivered a chilling prophecy. According to Smith, Fury promised to beat Wilder because he was an idiot and laid out a plan to lean on Wilder, wear him down, and take away his legs by coming into the ring 40 pounds heavier.
Floyd Mayweather looks me in my face and he says, I'm gonna take him out about the 8th or 9th round. And I said, your hand's always broken. You ain't known for your punching power since you moved up from lightweight to welterweight. Why are you so sure you're gonna do this? He said, Stephen A., he's a UFC fighter. He said, and he's a striker. He's accustomed to coming at you and throwing punches. What he's not accustomed to doing is punching while he's throwing backwards, while he's moving.
Fury's prediction wasn't just talk, he executed it almost to perfection. Smith emphasized the striking similarity in how both Mayweather and Fury had the foresight and technical insight to predict exactly how they would dominate their opponents. But maybe it could just have been Floyd Mayweather arranging the biggest money grab. But what do you think? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more updates.